Rather, Bengaluru's roads and infrastructure once again seems to be in the spotlight as investors are now raising concerns over the city's infrastructure. Kiran Mazumdar has highlighted the ongoing pothole menace, pointing out to poor civic upkeep and mounting garbage issues, and overseas investors have now slammed the condition of the roads and sparking debate of the neglect of infrastructure in the city and raising questions for the government's administration. Well, let's get in a word from Imran again on this. Well, overseas business investors' visit to Biocon Park is something that Kiran Mazumdar seems to be raising, saying that people are already, suffering because of the bad road and congestion. But what is the image of Bengaluru and the infrastructure being, viewed from an outsider's point of view? That is also something that a concern she's been raising.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Bangalore has been in the news over the potholes. And in fact, the state government is under constant attack. Even today, BJP also has targeted D.K. Shivakumar over the bad roads of Bangalore. And the Kiran Mazumdar narrating an experience of an investor who had come from foreign country, looking at the garbage mess and the traffic mess and the potholes especially, pointed out that when will Bangalore will be corrected. Now, over this, a war of words have ensued between the Kiran Mazumdar and in fact, Congress official Twitter handle, its state Twitter handle, also targeted Mohandas Pai over this issue, who had raised saying that why is Mohandas Pai silent when the BJP government is in power, why is only targeting Congress. But this is an issue, and in fact, commenting on that, Mohandas Pai, Kiran Mazumdar shared narrated experience of investors coming from outside and saying it is bad for brand Bangalore and it is bad for the city when the investors look at Bangalore.
We'll take her statement there, exactly what Kiran Mazumdar has said, because Sagarika, it's about not about politics, rather it is all about the global image as far as Bengaluru, how it is viewed by overseas investors as the IT capital.
And that's what Kiran Mazumdar is highlighting. But before I take you through her latest post, let me also show you this conversation that she's been having with Mohandas Pai. So Mohandas Pai had given feedback to D.K. Shivakumar and Priyank Kharge, ministers in Karnataka, about the situation of the roads. He went on to say, why can we not have roads without potholes? This is not AI work, but done for more than 200 years. So to which Kiran Mazumdar only recently said, I'm also puzzled about why the political leadership is not showing the political urgency to fix our city and make it world class. It doesn't take more than a focus in terms of budgetary allocation and execution. $1 billion need to be ring-fenced to do only this. This is the message that she sent out to Siddaramaiah. And then recently, that is just in her recent post, which she put out about 11 hours ago, the executive chairperson of Biocon Limited goes on to say that I had an overseas business visitor to Biocon Park who said, why are roads so bad? And why is there so much garbage around? So here she's talking about the situation of bad roads and the observation that was made by, a visitor, and also the garbage mess in the city. Then she goes on to say, doesn't the government, like this was the observation made by the business visitor who had come to the Biocon Park, and she quotes the person verbatim saying that they asked, doesn't the government want to support investment, links it to investment, and then says, the person also went on to say that I have just come from China and I cannot understand why India can't get its act together, especially when the winds are favorable. After this, after she put out that conversation highlighting the mess on the roads and the garbage situation, she tags the chief minister, she tags the deputy chief minister, and she also tags Priyank Kharge. Over to you, Amita.
Well, that is exactly now that is being raised. GS Prashant is also connected with us. Well, Prashant, how does, an investor and overseas investors view India? Because this is all about image. Why would they invest in such a city, in the IT capital, which is known all over, which is congested with traffic, which has bad roads, which has potholes all over? What is the image of Bengaluru going across?
See, the image of Bengaluru was carefully built over the last 2 or 3 decades, and it invited attention of the world's best to say that yes, if they have to invest, they wanted Bangalore because they knew that it is a tech city, they have talent, and that they could have set up their business here. But now, look at the apathy that the investors have to go through, and more so with this arrogant statements of the Deputy Chief Minister indicating that people are not investing. People have invested time, money and energy to build brand Bengaluru. This is not the brand Bengaluru that DK Shivakumar is talking about, full of potholes and corruption-ridden governance. But now, what more can you make out? Congress has never listened to the voices of the people. They do not want governance. All that Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah are trying for the last 30 months is, when will Siddaramaiah step down is DK Shivakumar's agenda, and to ensure that DK Shivakumar does not occupy his chair, Siddaramaiah is doing politics. Accepting that governance has taken a back seat, there is zero accountability, and there is 100% corruption in Congress in Karnataka. Therefore, this is the plight, and going forward, we will be now fighting with other states who will take away Bengaluru's business because they are offering better infrastructure, where we are failing to even maintain the existing infrastructure. Sad state of affairs, and indicating that brand Bengaluru, though we want it to remain as...
Well, we've seen that conversation that is happening by, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, where she seems to be raising the question over the political will there, rather to get on course correction, and the brand Bengaluru image seems to have taken a hit, especially when it comes to the opinion that is now being based on overseas investors and attracting investors to the city. GS Prashant, thank you very much. But the political turn, this conversation